Good day, my name is Nikki Mayon Palmeda from HM3 and I'll be answering some questions about ergonomics oral. For the first question, explain why the most valuable asset of organization is related to its human resources. The operative word is related, so answer according to that. To make it simple, the company is the main face of the organization or the brand, and behind them there are the human resources, the ones who put in the labors. They are the employees and etc. So here's the thing, their relation to each other is very simple. Organization is the one who handles the brand, the system, and everything. And the human resources are the ones who produce the work or labor in everything to produce a product. In accordance to that, human resources are the ones to be considered of as the assets of the organization because they're the ones who puts in work in order for a company to have sales and make profit every time. For the next question, we have explained why the work environment, if not conducive for working, may affect the quality along with the productivity and efficiency. The main highlight in this question is about the working environment. It tells that what if the working environment is not that too functional? Would it produce a productive and efficient way of performance of employees? Of course, it won't produce a productive and efficient services. It is one secret of the companies in having an efficient and productive services to their customers is about having the logical setups of their working environment. It is important for them to really analyze and organize these working areas of the employees in order to produce every movement with sensible things, not getting a movement of an employee with wasteful force or anything that is nonsense with their work. One great example for these work environment is the work environment of bartenders. Bartenders usually set up their things in front of them, back of them, that is very precise for them. It is because in order to produce a drink lesser than 1 minute or 1 minute or two, it is important to make all your things to be prepared of. But what if the organization doesn't consider what you need? It might cause a hassle for an employee, like it would cause too much delays of service. It might cause, let's say, injuries, if not an accident also. It is important to make the work environment very precise and organized. It gives a great power to the manpower, great help for them to make the work productively and efficiently every single time they're making it. It is that the organization is not only helping the employees but also their company to produce more sales and more profit in the end. The third question is all about explain the relationship between turnover and injuries sustained by housekeepers' injuries. Before knowing the relationship between the housekeepers and the turnover, I'll be defining the housekeepers. Housekeepers are usually the ones who get into injuries most of the time. It is because of their physical workloads. They're always making their work physically in a way that they're making the beds, pushing trolley, making the linens, which makes their body to be more forceful in enduring the work. Then, as years pass, if they're not making the right way in doing the task, it might cause injury or disease in the end. Here's the point of turnover. Housekeepers gets into the point of turning over or getting out of their jobs. It is because of the too much workloads that they're getting into the work. But here's the solution as for the company. As hotels gets into development and enhancement of their equipments, they're starting to come up to help the housekeepers to make their jobs more convenient, to lessen the percentage of getting a employee of a housekeeper getting into a point of turning over his or her job. It also helps to lessen some injuries for the housekeeper's employees. It helps the company to lessen the cost and also to help the housekeepers to have much more efficient and productive way of working every day. For the fourth question, explain why productivity in hotels is related to the money it makes. In here, productivity is being defined as the employee's main result on how they work, which once a company produces a productive productions of products, it more opportunities to sell to the customers, which means the more numbers of production of that products or services, the more opportunities that customers can demand and buy those things into the company. An example is when a housekeeper gets into her job with a much more lesser time rather than the standard time that must be input in a certain cleaning of a room, it would be a great opportunity for the hotel to be able to offer a more rooms every time they're making it. The more opportunity for having cleaned rooms in a lesser time, the more opportunity to make sales in that day, which we know rooms are very perishable, which means the more opportunity we be able to produce a guest to accommodate many rooms as that they can, it would be a great thing to make the hotel a great chance of having a more profit. Here's the last question. Explain why ergonomics should be preventive strategy. Ergonomics should be a preventive strategy in a certain hotel or a company because at the first place, we've known that ergonomics considered the work environment to become much more safer and also productive at the same time. Its main goal is to help the employees to have more convenient when it comes to their workflow and also to lessen the injuries and also the diseases that might cause of doing an improper way of executing a job, in which as we follow these logical or sensible work environment, it would also be helpful for the company to have more lesser costs when it comes to times in many years past. There will be lesser risk for their employees to have injuries or accidents every time they're working. So that's it, guys. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope you've learned something today. Thank you.